Hello everybody, this is Maniac4Bricks, and on July 12th, 2013, I gained 100 subscribers to my YouTube channel. So for point of reference, this is 1 year and maybe like a week or two since I started making LEGO videos as 13hammertime62. And I was experimenting with a lot of different types of videos around that time, even though I had very minimal technology to do so. But aside from doing just LEGO set reviews, I was also doing some hauls, and I was doing some stop motion animation, maybe some historical videos here and there of like the early days of flashbacks, which eventually would become Bizarre Lego. So it was very experimental time. It was still fun of trying different things. And one of the things that I had tried with the stop motions, some of them, as I mentioned in a previous video, I had done based on certain things that already existed. Like I literally made up a playlist based on things that I saw on YouTube or clips from videos or like movies or whatever that I wanted to reanimate in Lego form. I literally just made up a playlist of, okay, these are things I could do. And every once in a while, I would actually try to make something original. So I thought for a 100 subscriber special, I would make it an original stop motion animation using Lego. And I had basically just the script made and the scenery and the minifigures in place, but that was about it. Nothing else was actually animated out of it. Nothing, no storyboards or anything were drawn up, much like the previous one. And unfortunately, just never happened. I think I still made a video at some point that was thanking people for 100 subscribers and, you know, things furthering to this day as far as video stuff. So I have here several editions of the script for the 100 subscribers special that it changed a bit over time. And as I mentioned in the past video, I was making this on my iPod Touch, and my iPod was already linked to my email. So anytime that I made a revision on the notes tab, it would also send a new email of the entire note. So that's how I know that there were some changes, even if it was just punctuation over time. So originally, I had started working on this script on July 22nd, 2013. So this was after the special, of course, or this was after 100 subscribers, which was July 12th. And this one, very rough idea of the script, at least narrating the setting, the characters, some of the actual dialogue, and maybe some of the mannerisms that would go into it, but not much into it. I have several in here, so it starts at this point, July 22nd, had a small revision the same day. I don't know why it sent a new email about it, but okay. And then periodically changed a bit over time, 100 sub update. That's in August 14th. And then seems like there's another update in here in October. So let's see. In that time, I didn't gain, it was still like 100 or so subscribers. So I guess I figured, yeah, it's fine if it gets pushed off a bit. But I was still making other videos in general. Even if the animation took a bit longer to come up. So I'm going to go and read, I'm going to do the table read from the last update in October of 2013, which theoretically should have the most fleshed out part of the script. So back in the day, my channel used to be called 13hammertime62. Oh, let me just, there we go. So back in the day, my channel used to be named 13hammertime62. Long story short, I just shuffled a song on my iTunes library. It landed on You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer. So I conjured the nickname, or the username based off of that. And I think the numbers were related to 13, the year that I graduated. 62, it was the reverse of 26. January 26 was when I was born. That's literally it. That's all the that's all that it meant. So 100 subscribers special, setting Lego HQ, the meeting room. I did actually have a small Lego town at that time, basically on a gray 48 by 48 base plate, and maybe a little bit beyond it, with like a blue base plate or two, and very little space to flesh out with a lot of buildings and roads, etc. Back in the day, I basically just had like brick-built roads out of plates because I didn't have enough room for the road plates themselves, and even then I only had like 2 curves. And I did have an actual building called the Lego HQ, so it was like the town hall basically of the entire Lego city, Lego town. Characters, Lego HQ staff. Joe, president, literally just my sig fig, same as you see nowadays. It's been on the channel for a long time. Dan, vice president. Jerry, sales manager. Steven, head of research and development department. So those characters were not based on anybody real. And as far as I can remember, they didn't have, like, the names didn't tie into anybody I was watching or anybody I knew. I think I just came up with different names for people. There was at one point, Mel was an advisor and may have also been like head of construction, which is the next bullet point, building, which is literally from Lego Island. Mel, I remembered being a minifigure for a while that would like walk around with him and he'd get things done. Any construction needs to be in the town, but he wasn't a foreman. He was dressed a lot less construction like. And again, the name just came out of nowhere. It wasn't really based on anyone real. But these guys, the vice president, the sales manager, head of research, and things like that, they basically just had like any minifigure suit that I owned at the time, just to differentiate themselves and still feel like a boardroom. I don't know why there's a sales manager for what is essentially a town hall, but that's what I wrote. So building, I mentioned head of the construction department. Fred, head of the fire department, may not be in the video. Ryan, head of the police department, may not be in the video. If I recall correctly, I think I still have those minifigures. I think they're still set up the same way that they used to be. Like Fred, I didn't remember for a long time that I had a fire department chief and a police department chief that had names. And I think it may have just been for this animation, just of like, instead of writing the whole thing out, we'll just put the name there. But I still have those minifigures. They're still part of my police station and fire station to this day. And I guess this is canon. These are their names. They have been named characters. And the personalities pretty much same as they always were. And then Lay Guru, wizard and advisor. So I used to have a series back then called Lay Guru, and playing off of Lego and Guru, tying the two together. It was literally a new character of minifigure, all of it, genuine parts and everything, just mixed around, and just like all the other ones I had. And basically, it was a Q&A series. So people could ask questions, and I'd basically have 2 different answers. There would be one for the character Lay Guru as a, all-knowing Lego encyclopedia. And then there's one for me, Joey, which is just the sig fig, Maniac for Bricks sig fig. So they would answer both of those at the same time, usually having some kind of different answers between them depending on the subject. Like, I remember one of the questions was, and I did this not only on YouTube, but I also had this on DeviantArt when I was more active on there back in the day. I don't use it anymore. Haven't used it for a long time. But I did have that as an option between those as well. I was like, I'd make the videos, and I could also make a photo post related to it as well. So one of the questions I remembered was, what was your favorite Lego set? Which is, a very common Lego Q&A question, and a fair one. Everybody's got a different answer. So Leguru had one answer that was separate from me. Like, my answer was 6242 Soldiers Fort from Pirates. That still stands to this day as my favorite Lego set of all time. But there have been many contenders very close to that. And then Leguru's answer, I don't remember the set number, is Tower Raid from Fantasy Era Castle. So it wasn't literally me answering the same way both times. It basically just gave me an opportunity to make 2 answers, and didn't last too long because it just didn't have a lot of questions, and it seemed very weird of answering something twice, having the option of 2 different answers as if it was 2 different people, but I'm running both characters, so there you go. But yeah, he was still considered part of the, if you want to say, Maniac for Bricks canon at that time. He was part of the town. Um, Video style, stop motion animation, and that makes sense. Animation script, opening shot of the Lego HQ meeting room. Welcome everyone to our Lego board meeting. Today's topic is about our newest accomplishment, the 100 subscribers milestone on 13hammertime62's Lego set reviews. That is literally the same pattern that I had back in the day. I will always have that in my head. and formally that was the name of the channel at the time, even though it just appeared on YouTube as 13hammertime62. But it's like I always brought the entire title in when I did videos, most of the reviews, and then they have some applause. We need to develop a stop motion animation to give the subscribers something to enjoy about this milestone. Kind of weird wording, but all right. And Dan says, excellent. What topic should we choose? I was thinking we could gather the Lego HQ, and so literally everything frame-wise is taking place with this boardroom that there's, people in different chairs and talking back and forth. But as the animation goes on, it would just do a hard, like, Family Guy almost, like, cutaway thing. Let's just go straight to another scene, completely other framing, right then and there. There wasn't a transition in mind for it, even though plenty of other media have done transitions of, like, waving kind of fading effect, like a cloud or something, like, oh, it's an idea, so it's not happening right now, but it could be, that kind of thing. Did not have that in mind. But so that's what I mean when I say cut in the next scene, staff outside of Lego HQ. So the dialogue would follow. I was thinking we could gather the Lego HQ and sincerely thank you all for watching our videos. We value your comments and feedback about the reviews and news we produce. I was doing Lego news as well. We wouldn't have gotten this far without you. Then it cuts back to the boardroom. No, Joey, we ought to give him something better than a sincere video. How about sub for a sub? You mean subscribe to those who sub to us? No. And then, again, scene, cuts to another scene, transforms into a food stand, hot dog stand without hot dogs, because I don't even think I had Lego hot dogs at the time. Fred in a chef outfit is shouting, sub for a sub. Every subscriber for 13hammertime62 gets a free sub sandwich. That's basically the joke, and I know a lot of other YouTubers have done a similar joke. So yeah, I don't even know if that was borrowed from one of those. I didn't even close the parentheses, huh? And basically holding up a sandwich. It goes back to the boardroom. Jerry, we can't do that. Too many sandwiches to make on short notice. Literally, that's it. I mean, there's supposed to be more to this back and forth discussion, everybody having a different idea of how to make an animation or make some kind of special out of it. There was one idea that was sort of scrapped. It was like I already animated this anyways at my part-time job that I mentioned in the previous table read, but I was like, oh, maybe we could try this anyways. Let's see. Can I get to is this the right tab? Yeah, okay. So I had this very short animation that I made that I thought I might incorporate into the 100 subscriber special. Like, oh, what if we do an action film or something like that? That was going to be one of the characters' ideas. I don't know who was going to, bring up the idea, but that was basically going to be another thing where it's like, oh, we can thank them by making a really cool action flick or something like that. And I even put information in here, which I'm glad I can still go back to this. Created using the Lego collection at Snapology in northern New Jersey. Sam Animation was the program for recording and sound effects. This will be featured in an upcoming brick film. So I did actually upload this separately before the brick film was made. Weird. It is very weird. If you, the viewers, subscribe to YouTube, want to see this more of this action minifigure, be sure to like and comment on the video. I guess I was trying to make it like an original action hero kind of thing. Edit in March 2nd, 2014. This was not featured in any Brick film after this point. Sorry, it was meant to be a subscriber special, but plans did not fall through. It's a long time later after the intention, or even when it was starting to script it. So, yeah. Sadly, that's happened with many projects on the channel where it has a lot of ambition at first, but due to some circumstances, never fully gets realized, or does not become it's not, one for one the vision that I had for it. But I'm still here, I'm still kicking, and still making the best out of it. So I'm going to see if I can blow this up on the screen so we can see what this nearly minute-long animation was about. Oh, okay. So when this was published on the channel, I put the intro in here. I don't even know if it had an outro, so it's probably not actually a minute long. I think it froze because it's not moving now. Okay, give me one moment. I'm gonna see if I can fix that. Yeah, I can't even go back on the page. Weird. All right, let me see if I can start the page over. Sorry about that. There we go. And this is still a published video on the channel, but I'm like, well, I'm just gonna cut straight to the original part of the animation without the intro outro kind of thing. Let's see. Yeah, the animated intro was actually pretty long, considering the considering the rest of this. And that happened with a couple animations at that time. Where it's like, I just felt good recording animating this little clip. And I've already made an intro for other things, so I might as well make an intro for these. But in all honesty, I probably didn't need to tack them on. Because look at this. We're 20 seconds into a 42-second video. This is where the animation actually comes into play, and I believe, yeah, it stops there. And of course, it had to bug out in between. All right, I'm going to start this over because might as well. That's literally it. It just stops there. I think I may have actually wanted to make more out of the animation itself, but didn't have enough time to. And I was like, all right, you know what? I can export this clip and use it for the subscriber special. Could I do it again now? Could I improve on that? Probably. Could I actually make the subscriber special animation now? Or like the whole sketch? I mean, basically the idea of it was they toss back and forth ideas, but they do land on genuine, thank you at the end of it. I don't want to say it's not worth it now, but it doesn't make a lot of sense because it was made for specifically 100 subscriber special, and I'm well past 100 subscribers, and it's well, enough time has passed since 100 subscribers. So if it did happen, it would have to be for a whole nother milestone. And even so, I don't know if the concept would still hold up. I don't know if the idea of having this boardroom cutaway gag kind of animation would still work, unfortunately. I think it would honestly be a bit better if they just made it without being a sketch, or at least that kind of boardroom sketch, even though it's supposed to be a head fake, where it's like, oh, this is discussing what we're going to do about it in the animation where we do it, that's kind of the idea of it. But again, I don't know if this really works. I don't know if this is the kind of thing I'd have to tweak it in order to make it any better. And it's been a long time since I've regularly done stop motion animation, so it would feel kind of off for it to appear where it's like that's not what I've been known for in recent years. Not that I can't go back to it, but it just would feel, I don't know, something would seem a little bit odd about it. And I have a lot of other projects that I am, in the process of, so I don't even know where I'd squeeze it in, if it actually could happen. And I don't think I'm close to any sort of milestone right now. I check off to the side real quick. I'm like just over 4,000 if I recall correctly. $4.28K, yeah. So it's not a kind of thing that I would do. Like the next milestone that might happen would be 5, and I have no idea when that's going to be, and that's not dependent on the animation itself to get there, as far as I know. So yeah, a little bit of a longer one because there's a lot more to explain, even though there's a lot less of it that was actually made, but at least trying to go through explaining the concept of it. And I'm sorry about the bugs in between of trying to get the video playing. But again, if you want to watch it separately, and even if you want to break down frame by frame, if I did anything actually, weird about it, I don't know if that green stuff was supposed to be slime or flame, and I just had the flame sound effect put in just because. Yeah, all the sound effects and music, if I recall correctly, were from the same animation. So there's that. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed since then. People who have been watching the channel since then, even if they haven't been here for the animations and might have watched for other things like the Brick Theory, Bizarre Lego, any of the Lego trivia. And hopefully, I'll keep evolving with different things as I've been evolving over time, whether it's trying new things or improving things that I'm comfortable with or enjoy making. Any of the mocks that I've made and other things, collaborating every once so often with other people. It's great to do those things and still, not have to settle exactly on one thing. I do like that there's been some variety, and hopefully it keeps going better. So have yourselves a good day. I'd love to hear what you think about this fun concept in the comments below, or just this animation history that I had with the channel. I might even be worth doing a video later of all the animations and really timelining it. But these little bits here and there are fun to record as well. So take care. Have a wonderful day.